TGIF, everybody. This is Joe Cusick, Vice President of Wealth and Asset Management at MoneyBlock.com and TradingBlock.com with your Traders Exclusive. Thank God it's Friday, and it's been quite a volatile week this week. Looking at the mid-session, you still see the VIX over that psychological 20 mark. As a matter of fact, it was peaking out right around in the mid-session around 23. And when you see the VIX in the 20s, you can expect some serious volatility. We've seen huge gap downs this week. And today we saw a little bit of a recovery. It's flipping this morning. Perhaps this is temporary relief, so we're going to want to watch this very closely. But the European indices closed strong, and that's on the heels of a higher market in China, with the Chinese composite up about 2% overnight. Now, you could throw in some much better jobs numbers. We saw not only did we have a good jobs number for this previous month, but we also saw revised up in November, which again gave some relief to those that were starting to get very nervous. Keep an eye on VIX, though. That is going to be your barometer. A VIX right around above 20 still means that there is some serious volatility in this market. And by the way, if we see that level continues to hold through the month of January and going through this next expiration cycle, or excuse me, earnings cycle, this could be a sign of the times. As a matter of fact, if you're looking at the VIX futures, the VIX futures are really just showing that there's a low probability of this VIX going back down to that 14 level at all this year. So 20 could be the new norm. Also, watch any failure up here to hold the 2000 level here. I'm behind the S&Ps behind me. If that doesn't hold up in that level after a rally, or at least in that 1980, 1990 range, you're going to see that weakness could start to pick up. We want to keep an eye on that. Now, I did mention earnings, and we have earnings kicking off over the next month. As a matter of fact, I started to look at some names that had some unusual activity, and one that jumped out at me today was Alcatel, ALU. The February $4 calls traded for 20 cents, about 1,800 times. That's about 180 times its open interest. Now, the earnings are on February 5th. So we want to keep an eye on this. This is telling me two things. One is that institutional players are not willing to put actual hard dollars into the stock, but they're playing the upside going into the earnings with a potential profit opportunity if, in fact, the stock gets over that $4.20 mark going into that binary event of earnings. Another stock that I saw, which was in the oil and services sector and pipeline, is Canadian Natural Resources, CNQ. Now, the stock's trading around $19, and it was down about 38 cents. It has earnings in March. Look, right around March 3rd. I saw a big bearish trade today on the March $17 puts. They traded for 95 cents. That's about 12 times the open interest. Looks like while oil has been under pressure, it looks like any bounce that you see in oil, everyone's taking an opportunity, or oil-related underlyings, they're taking an opportunity to potentially hedge. Finally, we're going to take a look at Alcoa. Now, Alcoa earnings usually signal the unofficial start of earnings. Alcoa is trading around $8.23. I saw a very large bullish trade that has an expiration of next Friday. It was buying 5,000 of the January $9 calls and selling 10,000 of the January $9.50 calls. Looks like it was being done for roughly around a 5 or 6 cent credit. This is a very interesting trade going into expiration, this 1x2 trade, where they're buying the 9s and selling the 9.5s. It's basically telling you that this particular trade, which is about 5,000 times, so that's they're buying 5,000, selling 10,000. That is a bullish transaction up to 9.5. There's not a lot of conviction above 9.5. And with the stock at 823 and also an upgrade today on the open, this could be an interesting play, and we want to keep an eye on Alcoa and its earnings, which are on the 11th, this Monday, especially after what could potentially happen over the weekend watching China. All right, folks, been a very exciting week this week, and I expect a very exciting next week. So I look forward to talking to you next Friday on Traders Exclusive. This is Joe Cusick, Vice President of Wealth and Asset Management at MoneyBlock.com and TradingBlock.com. Wishing you a great weekend. Talk to you next week.